It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. We are still stuck in our homes, streaming all we can and hoping that one day soon we just may be able to go back to the cinema. But in the meantime, directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
And he is half man and half amazing. It is Murray. Hey there, Merman.
Yo.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
But he is all merman. Oh, baby. 2 weeks in a row for merman. I have a total mer boner going on.
I still hate technology stuff.
Yeah, but I still have my mer boner. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and join the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members. Along with all members that sign up, we'll get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible, terrible film. Wink, Bryce. Just like our friend Scott from Shoot the Frick, or just like the podcast It Goes Down in the PM we just did. Thanks to all our adopted favorite state, Virginia, which will stay our favorite until another location has more listeners. Go Who's. Wow.
All
Go
right.
Virginia.
Yes.
Now we got a commercial for our sponsor, which we haven't done for how long? Months?
Too long, Jim. Too long. Let's get back in touch with George. That's not George.
Yeah, we're also not talking about George.
We're not talking about George at all. We're going to talk about George later. But for now, it's Canyon Meadows Cinemas. I am on the ball today, boys. Canyon Meadows Cinemas are open for their delicious concessions. Popcorn, corn dogs, mini donuts, and more. Open Thursdays 4 to 9, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday 12 to 9 for takeout via curbside pickup. Just go to canyonmeadows.ca and enter your order. And by the way, by being one of our faithful Film Rage listeners, you can get 15% off. Just enter the promo code RAGEON. That's RAGEON to claim your 15% discount. Or, if you would rather have your snacks delivered, that is possible as well through Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, and DoorDash throughout Calgary. For more details, visit canyonmeadows.ca. And here, CMC would like to thank you for your continued support, and we hope to see you again soon at the cinema.
That was the sweet, sexiest commercial I've ever heard.
Glad you felt that way, Jim.
There's a lot of boners happening. I got a dance boner. And what?
We're streaming, Jim. And we're going to start with The Power, which is currently playing on Shudder. Dum dum.
Dum.
All right, so it is from 2021. The Power is set in 1974 London when the trade unions and the government were at war, causing blackouts to be ordered every night to conserve power. The story takes place at a hospital where a presence haunts a young nurse. This film is shot as well as any movie that I've seen, as for the most part, it takes place in the dark. The film is shot the lighting was near perfect in a movie that required little light. It allowed us to experience what was taking place in the shadows without sacrificing any of the creepiness. At its heart, it's a ghost story, which tends to turn me off to begin with, but it kept my attention throughout, and at no point was it boring. But alas, it was a ghost story, and, it wasn't that special a ghost story. A little predictable. The twist ending was pretty predictable. As soon as I saw the dude at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, well, he looks like a weasel. Anyways, it was a meh. That couldn't have gone any less smoothly.
Well, you know what? But it's kind of like that movie, The Power.
Yeah.
On Shudder.
Dum-dum.
Thank you. First off, I need to say, Devine Henry was outstanding as the matron, by the way. Don't you think so? Yeah. I thought she was amazing.
She was
It
good.
was a very small bit part, but man, she had like the whole ratchet thing going on. I was like, okay, scary nurse. I'm kind of turned on. Another reason.
There's another way out.
I love the long away tight shots and the fact that our lead character, Val, played by Rose Williams, is also afraid of the dark, which helps to build the creep and the fear. Sound and music was done very well to build tension with the lack of music and sound at times. Then overwhelmingly the sound and was kind of manic at other times, so it was kind of a real mix mash of sound, which I kind of liked. It was like manic at times and then it was like absent at times, so I kind of really like that. I don't like it when they put music all the way through it and it's not necessarily great. So music, I thought was a good point to this. Lots and lots of dark, which is always a tough way to film because you can't basically see anything. I know it's to try and scare you and to allow jump scares to come out, but I found it hard sometimes. I just really don't like really dark films. I thought they did it well. Oh, they did do it well, but it's still really dark, and I just don't like dark films.
It's the best lit dark film that I've ever seen.
I would 100% agree with you. However, I don't like dark films because I can't see anything. Now,
but you could see more in this one.
More of nothing is still nothing. Yeah, I don't know. It's true. I didn't mind it, but it's still a very dark film. I really like the way they built a very slow burn and how not everything is truly explained, even at the end. The ending was a little bit of a letdown. I have to agree with you, Bryce. I feel they could have made it a little better. All in all, it was a well-crafted ghost story with some great jump scares and an interesting spin on Lady Ghost who kicks ass and punch dicks. But this ghost was just a little shy of kicking my dick into a Mondo. It's a meh.
It's a meh.
Yeah, if it would have kicked my dick a little harder, then maybe it would have been a Mondo.
Still would have been a meh.
It could have been a lot more kicking. Could have helped it. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. All right, what else did we see, Jim?
We saw Nomadland on Disney Plus. After losing everything in the Great Recession, a woman embarks on a journey through the American West, living as a van-dwelling modern-day nomad. Directed by Chloe Zhao? Is that the right pronunciation? Zhao. Oh, thank you. Yes, that makes more sense now that I know that that's Zhao. And it was based on a book by Jessica Bruder. But I guess Chloe also did the script, I think, a little bit. Stars Frances McDormand and a bunch of other people, but let's face it, it's all about Frances McDormand in this film, so let's just talk about her for another hour. This film is a journey of one woman showing a whole group of people who live on the edges of society, struggling to live and become nomadic, to move their vans or lives across the country to follow work to live. But mostly, it's one woman's journey. That woman is the mesmerizing Frances McDormand. She is so into this character and so natural in everything she does in this film. This is one character film sprinkled with a few other people that intersect her life. The film itself does inch along with really not much that happens other than Frances's life unfolding to all levels of despair and yet some hopefulness. I love everything about motherfucking Frances McDormand. The film itself, I found it a little bit of a slacker film, which I normally hate. But the beauty of her acting and her quiet, unassuming persona kept me wanting to see where she went and what would happen to her next. It's a Mondo, but only because of her. I don't think even motherfucking Viola Davis could have pulled this one off. I am now dreaming of the day when the two queens of film battle head to head for who is the most mesmerizing actor on the planet. I don't even think there's a man alive that comes close to these two. Frances McDormand and Viola Davis, can you please make a movie together?
All right.
It's a Mondo.
Oh. All right, so Frances McDormand and David Strathern are the only two actors in this, as far as I could tell. Why are we paying actors the big bucks when Nomadland and Concrete Cowboys has showed us that using the actual people from these worlds is better than any Hollywood types? Nobody could have played Patty better than Patty. And you know what? Nobody could have played Linda better than Linda. So why are we casting anybody else? We need to come up with more movies with this, where we can just shove the people that this is about right into the film. They did a tremendous job. This was a wonderful film that felt so genuine, and it had such a great performance from McDormand that I could not have enjoyed this film more. The ability of McDormand as Fern to convey effective emotion with every glance, every wry smile, and every reaction was something to watch. Fern is an unforgettable character, and her supporting cast is up to the challenge of sharing the screen with her. The desperation, the caring, the grief, the humility, it is all presented perfectly. As you watch the story, you feel you are there with Fern. And that is a credit to director Chloe Zhao. This movie was a darn near perfect Mondo.
It was great. So, Murray, did you actually get to see this one yet?
No, sadly, I have not had time to watch anything this week.
All right, well,
I was hoping to watch it on Saturday, but we kind of did the podcast earlier, so.
We did. But we'll definitely get Murray's take on this because Murray has access to Apple Plus, or not Apple Plus, Disney Plus now. So life is good, as they say.
Disney, they're the worst.
They're the worst.
Evil.
All right, so we pretty much agreed on that one, Jim.
Yeah, well, I think we agreed on the first one too. So I don't.
Whew. What are we in for?
Are we going to agree on this? Are we going to agree on this?
I'm going to say we're not going to agree on this. That is my prediction.
I think we will.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I feel pretty strongly about this one.
Okay, well, let's hear it, bitch.
The Man Who Sold His Skin. This is on video on demand right now. It is from 2020.
And it's nominated for some kind of award.
Yeah, I think it's nominated for like best. What do they call it these days? Best
foreign language
film. I believe
Murray,
that.
Is that what they call it?
They don't call it that. They call it Best International Feature or something.
Yes, International Feature,
Yeah.
Thank God we have Murray back.
Is it nominated? I didn't notice.
Yes, it has.
So, The Man Who Sold His Skin is the story of Sam, a Syrian refugee who literally sells his back that is transformed into a work of art to be displayed for the world to see. This started out with a tremendous amount of potential. The concept is sound as it puts forward many serious topics, such as the treatment of refugees and the premise that a person in some circumstances has less rights than a piece of art. As a refugee, Sam was unable to cross borders, but as a work of art, he could go anywhere he pleased. It also had some views on the exploitation of the refugee and some overly simplified views on identity, race, and class. Overall, I liked the concept and I was actually really enjoying the film, and then it took a ridiculous turn at the end that turned all the potential into a pile of crap. The ending made no sense as, number one, the artist showed many times that he cared little for Sam, and it is not believable that he would go so out of his way to help him out. And number two, I will just say, cloning? Really? What a ridiculous ending to go through... What a ridiculous ending to a thought-provoking initial concept. This was a rage.
Oh, I guess we are going to match up. We aren't going to match up. I didn't think you would. I knew where you would have problems. I already knew that, but I had those same problems. I just didn't hate it as much. Okay, so music was subdued and barely used. The concept of this film, although influenced by an art deal for someone else's skin with a tattoo.
A believable art deal, not like this art deal, but go ahead.
Yep. Was influenced by an art deal for someone else's skin with a tattoo. The original story.
I'd sign up for that deal, by the way.
Yeah, so would I. Speaking of that, we may talk about that later.
All right.
Influence of the writer is nothing like this film, though. And so I don't even consider it relevant as a reference. And yet you search this film and they talk about this guy who influenced this movie. It has nothing to do with that same story.
Nope.
This film has such cultural relevance with what is happening in Syria and in places where refugees are abundant. Has a similar feel to that doc we saw a few weeks ago, Love Child, I felt, where it showed Arabic cultures being persecuted for one reason or another. I love the story idea and the whole way this film unfolds. It moves at a fairly steady but slow pace, and the film covers some heavy topics of human trafficking and human rights, but only just briefly, and it doesn't get preachy, but points are definitely made. The story, as we reach the end, though, kind of loses its passion and momentum.
To say the least.
Although the film gets a piece of art, it has a predictable ending, and ultimately trying too hard, and I'm going to say this, to be a westernized film, stole some of the soul of its Eastern-inspired tale. For that, unfortunately, I have to give it a pop art, wishing it was a masterpiece. Meh.
How was that a predictable ending? That was a ridiculous ending. But it wasn't predictable. Really, you're thinking of, like, midway through. Oh yeah, it's definitely there's gonna be some cloning involved in this story.
No, the cloning part was the only spin.
Was ridiculous.
Did you know he was? You knew he was gonna live at the end.
Oh yeah, that's
like no, that
yeah.
That was over. The cloning part was just like, okay, what? That didn't even make sense.
All of a sudden we turned into a sci-fi movie. I mean, really, this artist is gonna shell out like. Or I don't know where the millions, I don't know what it costs to clone someone's back, and then he's going to redo the tattoo. Like, it's all just stupid.
Okay, well, I didn't hate that part as much
as it was ridiculous. I'm spoiling the ending, and I don't care because it was such crap. No one should watch this. How can it be nominated for anything?
No one's going to see it anyway.
Well, no, a lot of people will see this.
They will because it's nominated.
Not unless it wins.
But again, here's a scenario where the majority of this movie was good. There was good concepts. The
concept was excellent.
And
I love the concept. The message was excellent.
Yes, and because of cloning,
the good intentions.
It went from.
Yeah, the road to good intentions, my friend.
You and your ending. 5 minutes of cinema.
It was so bad, though. It's like, what is going on? I thought, like, 20 minutes in, I was like, okay, I'm digging this. This might be a Mondo. And by the end, they just took a big crap on my eyes. I did not like this.
It's kind of, so, when you're making cupcakes, well, no, Bryce doesn't. But, when Murray and I, when we make cupcakes, and you got the squeezer and you're squeezing the what's the stuff? Icing. Yeah, thank you. And then I'm just thinking of it being a thing of poop that's been squeezed Bryce's eyes right now.
That's about right.
Buddy. Well, so you completely nailed it. We did not agree.
I told you.
I didn't think it would make you rage.
Oh, it was so stupid. Like we almost went into sci-fi by the end. It was like, well, really?
Well, one comment about it being a clone was sci-fi, but other than that,
yeah, the whole thing.
You do know that cloning is real, right?
I know. I understand cloning is real. I would imagine that it costs a lot. I would imagine that nobody's gonna. No, it would never happen. It was so dumb. Oh yeah, this is based on a real story. Sure, it is.
No, it wasn't.
It was the stupidest freaking ending that's ever. It was so bad.
Well. I
Bad.
I want to say I respect your passion for the rage.
It's
Yeah,
bad.
I'll just say that. I think I'll just say that. I'm glad you're raging already because we're moving into the next film now.
I don't know why I'm playing that music. That's weird.
I don't know. But, I mean, we're talking about, and I don't know why my notes are half done from last week too. So what is that?
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so
I
we
noticed
got
that.
we got to see another film that's playing on HotDocs. So for those people that are listening, we got to see a preview, actually a couple of previews, because Fanny's playing at HotDocs too.
By the way, once again, see Fanny. Fanny's awesome.
Fanny is really awesome. So HotDocs, for those people who don't know, you go to hotdocs.ca, or for the old people listening, https://hotdocs.ca/ April 29th to May 9th. We got to see from our friends at gat.ca, the PR group, the face of Anonymous. So and you know what? Trying to get anything out of IMDb on this movie was impossible. So I made my own synopsis up. Think V for Vendetta mask, but in real life. But no, but that is the mask that this one faceless hacker group called Anonymous used to wear. And this is the story of the man who started it all and where he is now.
There you go. Did he really
That's
start
pretty
it?
much it.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually started it. He joined them.
Yeah, he didn't start it.
Well, he kind of became the face of it.
He was the face of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not by their
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, so this doc has a ton of content and goes in a few different directions, but really follows the man known as Commander X. I found the content of this doc very interesting, as it was going over and through the past of Commander X. And the whole Anonymous movement is a very fascinating story. The story was fairly tight and kept you sort of refocused on this very strange and apparently genius hacker / activist. The other peripheral members of Anonymous really did seem sane and moved on with their worlds, but our Commander X lived in exile. I found it interesting and educational as a well-crafted doc, but I didn't love it. Not really sure why, so I'm giving it a meh. But if Murray and Bryce can maybe convince me otherwise, I could maybe be swayed. I didn't love this doc. I found it interesting, but I didn't love it. It's a meh. Murray, do you want to go next?
Yeah, it's the one actually I did see while I was, waiting to see everything else. He was an interesting character, that's for sure. I'm not a big fan of documentaries in the first place. But yeah, I don't know a lot about hacking, the world of hacking. And I found it kind of cool that they were trying to take down fascist dictators and stuff, as opposed to just trying to get rich or, destroy the world. But yeah, this guy just seems like somebody's crazy old uncle. I still don't believe he actually knows how to get on to a computer and hack things. He just seems like somebody's crazy old uncle. But yeah, he was interesting. And yeah, he lived on the streets and he had a laptop and he used public Wi-Fi to hack stuff. I'm like, okay. And the fact that he actually got across the border.
Yeah, from Canada right down into Mexico.
Canada, from Toronto to Winnipeg and down south and just walked across the freaking border because there's no wall there. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely wouldn't give it a Mondo, but I mean, as documentaries go, I enjoyed it.
There you go. All right, Bracey, what you got, baby?
The story of Commander X of Anonymous is told. If you're really wanting to know more about him specifically, then this film is exactly what you're looking for. This was a very interesting look at the commander as we learned his perspective on his influence on the movement, as well as other top organizers from Anonymous who lend their opinion on Commander X. As would be expected, Commander X has a very high opinion on his contributions to the movement, and also to be expected, no one else seems to share this opinion. Yet for years he was the face of Anonymous. This was an association, of course, that was about not having a face. Doc was interesting with its recent interviews as it pertains to Commander X. It covered a lot of ground already covered better in We Are Anonymous from 2012, but also had some mildly interesting updates on people who were involved in the movement. The documentary was just okay. It was meh.
What? Here's another case, and I dare to say it, we all agreed. Murray, another case that we do agree on some things. You'd like to say we don't.
I probably enjoyed it more than you guys did, but
it's still a meh.
Yeah, it takes a lot to me. A Mondo documentary, such thing doesn't exist in my world.
Hail Satan.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Well, I didn't have a lot of stuff to be angry about this week, mostly because I had my mind preoccupied by a bunch of other things going on. And, unlike Bryce, I didn't have anything to rage about film-wise. Well, I do, but that's coming up later. So I'm going to complain about the fact that the NHL, which pretty much is shutting down NHL teams pretty much every other day because every single person gets COVID on their team, is allowed to go and play around wherever they want all over the fucking countries. And yet I still can't see theaters and cinemas. So I'm like, what is wrong with the balance in the universe when hockey players can just do whatever they want because they make more money than obviously theater workers? So yeah, that's my rage. It's very simple. I'm still mad I can't go see a movie in theaters, and I'm upset that NHL is still going on, and yet there's COVID rampant through the whole league. That's my rage. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough. My rage is still about the man who sold his skin for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is the dumbest ending ever. Why do you have such a good concept and just wreck it with the ending? Plus the fact that how on earth is this nominated for any type of award? I am just baffled. There were so many good foreign films last year. How on earth did this get sneak through the cracks? I mean, I don't have the list in front of me, but there's so many movies last year. I had a few of them on my top 10 that were foreign films, and I think one of them made it. So it's like, I'm just tired of, number one, wasted potential, because this was a great concept that should have been a great movie, and the fact that the Academy can look at this movie and decide that it's one of the top 5 foreign films of the year. So I'm double raging this week. Boo to the Academy. Boo to bad writing. That's my rage.
Yeah, that's a good enough reason to rage.
There you go.
True.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
So we now get to talk about George, which we've been, letting you people know that we've been wanting to talk about George for quite some time. And I kind of miss George. I think we need to have a special episode to bring him back sometime.
Yep.
I believe Cube, Japan style, is coming soon, and he'll be back with us. But here's a promo from our buddy George.
Hey everybody, George here, host of the Best Little Horror House in Philly, the show where we talk about the best horror movie ever made, according to our guest at least.
It's a real fun show where every episode I agree that the movie our guest chose is the best, and we get into where their love of horror started before discussing the movie in detail, the background, the themes, specific call-outs before ultimately summing up why it's not just good, but it's the best horror movie ever made. And we've had some incredible guests ranging from horror icons like Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Rich Sommer from Summer of '84, and Anthony DeBlasi, director of Midnight Meat Train and Last Shift, all the way to some of my favorite comedians like Neil Campbell, Jeff Dutton, Betsy Sidaro, Joe Wangert, Tim Kalpakis, and more. So listen to the best little horror house in Philly wherever you podcast and ask yourself this.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Alrighty. As predicted, this is my Oscar preview. Since we're not going to talk about it next week. After the longest award season ever and a pandemic that almost destroyed the movie business, we finally have the Oscars this weekend. Now, I know my two fellow Ragers could not care less, but this is my minute. If you're planning to watch the show, here's the stitch. According to Variety, the big hoity-toity American media conglomerate, here's who should win and who, in some cases, will actually win. Because nobody seems to care about... I'm going to talk about the first 5 major categories, because no one really cares about the other ones. Okay, first up we get the big one, Best Picture.
Yep.
Who should win? Nomadland.
And will.
It won the PG, the Producers Guild, Directors Guild, BAFTA, and Golden Globe. So it should be a lock. Then again, 1917 and La La Land also won all those awards and didn't really help them. Who will win? Probably Nomadland, unless maybe Chicago 7 pulls off an upset. But...
Ew.
Best Director. Who should win? That Chloe chick, because I'm not saying her last name.
Chloe Zhao.
Nomadland. Who will win? Well, she's won everything else, so no other choice, really. Honorable mention goes to Thomas Vinterberg. I know how to say that. For Another Round. Cheers. Best Actor. Who should win? And who will win? Chadwick Boseman. For Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Nope.
Anthony Hopkins was amazing in The Father, but the Academy does love their posthumous
Riz
award.
Ahmed. Riz Ahmed. Riz Ahmed is the best actor.
Who's gonna win? Someone who's gonna win. That's good. Best Actress. Who should win? This is actually a real crapshoot, and guaranteed to lose you the Oscar pool if you actually entered one. All 5 performances were good. Viola Davis could pull off an upset.
I'm okay with that.
But smart money is on Frances McDormand for Nomadland, who she just gets better every year.
I'd be okay with either.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, now we got Best Supporting Actor. Who should win? Paul Raci. I probably said the name wrong. The Sound of Metal.
Damn right.
Because both the actors from what was it called? The
Judas and the Black Messiah. How are they supporting actors? They were the leads.
Supporting actors. They are both lead actors.
What? Another thing that Bryce and Murray agree on.
So who's gonna win? Probably that Daniel Kaluuya guy, because he's won everything else. So he's the star of the movie. He's gonna win for Best Supporting Actor.
So dumb.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I raged about, the fact that the Sound of Metal dude wouldn't win the Oscar because there's 2 guys that were stars of the movie that are in the supporting actor category. It's crap.
Yeah.
That guy was awesome in Sound of Metal.
Yeah. And the last one is Best Supporting Actress. Who should and will win is, let me butcher this, Yoo Young-yoon for Minari.
Oh, really?
Now, also nominated Olivia Colman, who was great in The Father.
Yep.
Glenn Close and Amanda Seyfried from, it was Mank.
Yep,
We're
she
all
was
good, but it's pretty much a lock. I mean, she's going to be only the second Asian woman to win an acting Oscar since Miyoshi Omeki in Sayonara in 1958.
Wow.
Now, Glenn Close, if she loses this, will tie the late Peter O'Toole for the most acting nominations without a win.
She's never
Now,
won
there's-
one?
Not one. Now, Peter O'Toole, there's a guy who deserves a posthumous award. She's been nominated in World According to Garp, The Big Chill, The Natural, Fatal Attraction, which she lost to Cher that year,
Yeah.
Dangerous Liaisons, she lost to Jodie Foster, Albert Nobbs, she lost to Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I thought
And
she was
then
going to
last
win for
year,
Albert
years
Nobbs.
ago was The Wife, lost to Olivia Colman.
That's
this year,
fair.
that'll be 8 nominations and no wins.
And she didn't get a nomination for the girl with all the gifts, which she should have.
Exactly.
What?
Anyway, so that's what's going on with the Oscars. Pretty much all we're going to talk about. So that's all I got.
All right.
Murray, you always bring the joy. That's all I gotta say.
Bye.
I'm just digging Murray's music.
Yeah, the Murman Minute just makes me groove.
Exactly.
Grooviness.
All right then. I guess we're up again, are we?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we're gonna talk about the list this week.
Oh, right, the list,
Did we
right.
talk? Did we talk at all about me seeing the movie Noah yet?
No.
Supposed to?
Well, yeah.
Was it Russell Crowe?
Well, Bryce and I had, he gave me a challenge that I had to go see Noah. Do you remember that, Bryce?
I do remember that.
I know you're really digging that music right now.
Yeah. I'm digging it so much. It's the best. I think we should groove on it for a little more.
Yeah, sure, why not? We'll talk about the list as we listen to Murman Minute music.
Yeah. Groove on it. It's good. Why would we put any other music on when we got the Merman Minute?
Exactly. So now
We
we
didn't have
remind
any of it for
us,
so long.
and now we get. Let's just have it for the whole rest of the episode. That's
Yeah.
my suggestion.
Get on with it.
That's a good suggestion, but it's not your very best.
Well, it's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
No. Okay, so now why was I supposed to see Noah again? Who were you putting forward?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
It wasn't Logan Lerman, though, was it?
Logan Lerman. Maybe.
I don't think it was.
No, it was, what was it?
It wasn't Ray Winston.
No, it wasn't Ray Winston. Seriously, what was it?
I don't remember.
If you
now.
don't know, let's just move on.
No. We got to figure this out. Maybe what was the first one you said?
It wasn't Russell Crowe.
No,
It wasn't Jennifer Connelly.
Hey, I got the list music.
It wasn't Anthony Hopkins or Emma Stone or Logan Lerman. Nick Nolte? Yeah, he was just a voice.
Nick Nolte.
It wasn't Kevin Durant, was it?
I like Kevin Durant. How about that Darren Aronovsky?
All right. Who directed it?
Darren
I don't think
Aronovsky.
it was.
That's who it was then, wasn't it?
Darren, no, it wasn't.
It was
It wasn't.
for
You
long
didn't bring
time.
forward Darren Aronovsky. You
Yeah.
didn't bring him forward.
Yeah, I did.
Was it?
The hell I
No.
didn't.
Was
Look
it?
at his movies. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I said the guy doesn't make a bad movie.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
you were going to go the other way.
What?
Okay, yeah.
I love his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there. Okay, so I did give it a meh. And you know what the funniest thing about the whole story was?
Yeah.
I had seen this movie before.
Yeah. No, I know
I
what.
kind of forgot because it was just like meh.
And Meg gets him on the list.
It does because the
He's
last
undoubted.
movie that was on there.
That's who it was, Aronofsky.
No. But was he? No, was he? No, wait. We couldn't actually. He still needs another movie, didn't he?
What?
Oh, there was.
How many movies does he have?
Directed 17.
Yeah. So I don't think he
No,
needs
but
another
these are
movie.
shorts. No. I think we didn't because he had.
Oh,
He
okay,
did
you mean
Pie,
like
Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, The
Black
Wrestler.
Swan, The Wrestler.
Yeah. No, he doesn't actually.
How many movies does he have?
So
Okay,
he has
1, 2,
Mother.
4, 5,
No, okay, count Mother,
6,
Noah.
7 big movies.
Black Swan, The Wrestler, The Fountain, Requiem for a Dream, Pie. That's it.
Yeah, it's 7 movies.
Okay, so his next movie.
Just put him. Yeah.
Put him on
his
deck.
Next movie. He's on deck. That's exactly it.
So
But
even
he's
if
got
it's a last one was a Mondo though, right? What was the last one?
Mother.
Well,
Mother.
it was a Mondo for me,
Like,
but
that one.
Yeah,
Mondo.
it was a
that one?
Mondo for me.
yeah.
I wasn't crazy about it.
So that was it a rage though, Murray, or just a meh?
I wouldn't rage about it, but yeah, it was a meh for me. But
Well, we gotta hope it's a Mondo, because that could be 2 mehs back to back.
yeah, there's something called The Drift coming up. I don't know when, but it's a horror movie apparently.
Okay, so
I already like it.
he's on deck. We just need
It's on deck.
one more Met or Mondo from Mr. Darren Aronovsky, and he can be on the Undoubted list. Yeah, that's who it was for sure. You're like reading off the actors. I'm like, no, it's none of them. Why did you watch this? Oh yeah, Aronofsky directed that, didn't he?
Shows where our mind is at. Okay, well, do either one of you clowns have anybody to put forward?
Murray's
No.
got 3.
No, I don't.
Okay, well then,
Zero.
the only thing I have is some old ones from before that I'm gonna pull out, mesmerizing, and then my list is empty. That means
I'll
two
give you one
better
mesmerized.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're not gonna say Glenn Close, right?
Nah, I'm just because I'm looking at him right now in my bed, or well, not in my bedroom, but in my spare room here.
You mean in the Film Rage Studios? Is that
Yeah,
what it's
I'm looking at a poster of Hellraiser 3, and I'm sorry, Pinhead is mesmerizing. I am nominating Doug Bradley as mesmerizing.
No idea who that is.
It's Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies.
Never saw it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no on that.
What else?
What?
I'm gonna say Pinhead is, but I don't think he is on the whole, because he's made a ton of movies, and I've forgotten him in every single one of those other roles. So
They're all Hellraiser
That's
movies.
that's a hard.
Every
No,
one
he's
of
been
them.
in. He's been in a whole bunch of horror.
He's been in a
movies.
bunch
He was
of
in-
stuff.
He was in Wrong Turn 5. He was in
I know.
Park.
He's
He
mesmerizing.
was in Deer. No, he's not. Pinhead
Nothing I've.
I love
is
Doug Bradley.
mesmerizing.
I think
Well,
that's a
you
night.
You can love him by yourself in your room by yourself.
That's right.
I will.
Okay, well, I'm bringing
With the door
forward a
shut.
couple. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm bringing forward Gabriel Byrne.
As mesmerizing?
Yeah.
No.
All right. That was easy. Okay, I got one more. And for me, she's always mesmerizing, but I can see where maybe you two might not love her. And that's Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow. That's the one who was married to Woody Allen?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen anything she's ever been in.
You haven't seen Rosemary's Baby?
No.
She's fucking mesmerizing as fuck in that movie.
That's the only reason I could potentially get her on the list. But
okay.
you know what?
Is she made 7 or 8 movies?
She's made
She's made.
she's made a metric ton of movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what she looks like.
There
Well,
you
then
go.
your vote isn't valid. But
I
Bryce,
guess
it's up
not.
to you. Come on, you must have loved her in just about every Woody Allen movie. I know we're not.
She was
it's kind of a swear word. now.
yeah, no, I did love her in all those movies, but
Oh, you know what? I have seen one movie she was in. She was in Supergirl.
That's a TV show.
No, the movie.
the movie Supergirl.
1984.
She's certainly not going to be. She's not going to be undoubted. We can say that for sure.
No, I'm gonna pass on mesmerizing as well.
How could you do that?
She's all right. Oh,
Didn't you think she was fantastic in Alice? Come on.
she was
Not
fine.
in September. Not in Radio Days.
Yeah,
Hannah and her sisters.
she was
Purple Rose of
she
Cairo.
is-
Come on, she was so
she
perfect.
is always fine, but she's never mesmerizing.
Well,
She's a body. She's competent. I
are you
like her.
Are you calling her a root vegetable?
Nah, I'm not calling her that because,
Food vegetable?
but I am calling her
Like a
just.
celery?
She's a solid actor.
You almost said Mia Farrow was a beat.
I am not even trying to imply that. She is as solid as they come.
Tomato?
But she's not mesmerizing.
Tomatoes aren't root vegetables, Mur.
Why not?
No,
weren't you gonna make
they don't grow under the ground. Tomatoes grow above the ground.
Weren't you gonna make Amy Adams a female potato?
No, she was a turnip.
She's on deck for.
Well, she's already. Oh,
is she already undoubted?
Undoubted, yeah.
That's amazing. I know she's picked good roles. It's amazing.
I happen to love her. But
I know.
It's okay. She picks good movies, Murray.
Hey, I couldn't get her off the list.
That's right. She is undoubted.
I could have said it. One. She just made back-to-back mez, but she has a good agent. I'll say that about her.
Yep.
Right. He's a
almost
potato.
like our Mr. Potato himself.
All right. That's all for the list?
That's it, because you losers got to do your weight.
Whatever.
I want 2 of something from both of you for next week.
I came up with a Murman Minute in like half an hour, so I think that was an accomplishment. And that was at work.
Thank God you put so much time and effort into our podcast.
I know.
Right?
Well, short notice. All right, then. Last week, we were dared to see American Pickle. Let me start over again. Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce and Jim yet again were dared to see a film by one of our local ragers. Last week it was Brenda. She dared them to what apparently Jim thought finding a film that could finally make us rage. Still not sure Bryce is easy to rage these days. Is Seth Rogen and our friend Brenda really be on 2 people who will? Is Jim happy that he will rage? Oxymoron much, Jim. And funny, do I really care? As I never want to see a Seth Rogen film anyway. Let's check in with Bryce first and this crazy suspense finally over. All right, so how's American Pickle?
American Pickle. I liked an American Pickle. There is no rage here. What is there to rage about? It was a nice little film with an acceptably competent performance from Rogen. Was anything here spectacular? No. But was anything here rage-inducing? Abso-freaking-lutely not. I laughed on many occasions. I felt for the characters. The acting was solid. And the story was a shallow bit of entertainment with some clever dialogue. Not a great movie, but certainly not a rage. I liked it. It was meh. And once again, I do not understand.
Well, you're going to understand very soon why this movie was dared for us to see.
Because explain it to me.
I want to say I chortled twice. Twice. And that wasn't even a laugh. That was a chortle. And then after the chortling happened, it went Eddie Murphy with Seth Rogen playing multiple characters.
Yeah, he did
First off, Seltzer is not funny. Plus, time travel movies with multiple characters already starts with bad pickle brine. And all the stupid quips from time travel idiots in the future really got tiring really fast. This, my friends, is something that has never passed my lips, but the period piece portion in this film was the best part of this movie. So you can imagine how bad this movie really is. Every 5 seconds, he's pointing out something that happens now that the idiot time traveler doesn't know anything about. And that is supposed to be funny? No, it was not even funny the first time. But after the 50th time of him trying to make a joke about a person that travels time doesn't understand something in the future, it got super tiring super fast. Because guess what? He's dumb and he doesn't know anything. Ha ha ha. Yes, that's sarcasm. Every single thing about this movie was either stupid or had been repeated I don't know how many other times in every other time travel film. But God, it was painful to watch. Seth Rogen was not funny in this film, was boring, and having dual roles, as per usual, was awful and nonsensical. This film puts me in a bit of a pickle, though. Do I hate this more than the movie 9 Lives and making it the worst movie I've ever seen?
Oh my God, of course you
Or-
don't.
Or is 9 Lives still the worst film I have seen? Okay, I'm just kidding. Just like this movie was. Because it was funny. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Actually, the funniest thing about this was people on Instagram and Twitter, when they knew we were going to be watching this, they said, "Oh, I really like American Pickle."
Yeah.
And that is what made it the funniest of all. This movie was one of the worst rages of this last year. It was terrible.
Whatever. It was
awful.
sweet.
There was no redeeming qualities in it.
It was
Every single
sweet.
joke was not funny. Okay, what did you... It's supposed to be a comedy. What openly did you laugh about in this entire movie?
I didn't think it was that much of a comedy. I just thought it was just a sweet little story.
Sweet little story about what? About time? Okay, you literally just raged about a movie that threw in science fiction. Now you've got a fucking pickle that's actually...
No, but that
pickle
was the
time
premise
that
from the
preserves
start. That was the overlying premise. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
If
which
you're going to
is
make
also
that
okay.
movie, make that movie.
Is that-
That's not the
is
movie
that-
they were making
Is
before.
that science fiction? Is this science fiction or is this... What
Of course this is science fiction.
I thought it was a comedy.
It's both.
It wasn't either.
It
The
was
science
actually
fiction
I thought it was
of a
more of a
pickle.
I thought it was more of a drama than anything.
Yeah,
I thought
right,
the
'cause-
relationship between these two was
'cause
effective.
it-
I thought Seth Rogen was great in dual roles.
I-
As great as Seth Rogen can be, he has his limitations. Everybody knows that, but he was just
Yep.
fine.
No, this movie was terrible.
Nah, this movie
fact
was
that-
sweet. This movie,
No.
I enjoyed it. I didn't love
How
it.
can you say that? I'm like so confused.
Did it have some stuff that I think could have been better? Of course.
There
That's
was
why it's
nothing
not
good
a
about
Mondo.
this.
But it
This
was
is-
it
there
was
nothing.
it was a
there
nice
was
little
nothing good
movie.
in this movie.
It was a
This
pleasurable 90 minutes.
This is painful to watch.
Aw.
You would have hated this just like me.
Aw.
Anybody that
Hell, I
has
would've
ever
watched
seen a
it.
time
Oh,
travel
Murray's here, Seth Rogen, and he's already made up his mind. So
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I
Well-
saw the promo for it. I wasn't impressed.
Well, the promos were probably the best part about it because there was only a minute
Exactly.
of the promos. This movie was so terrible.
I can't believe that
So-
you raged this hard on this movie.
It was awful.
It was
I hated
fine.
every single thing about it.
It was not painful
I
at all.
think
It
Bryce
should
sucked.
not have been dared.
Yep. Well, it's done. And I completely understand why she dared me to see it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't get
But,
it because
well,
it was
I
fine.
can tell you what we're going to be watching when we come back from Cuff. Because next week we'll be doing Cuff. But the week after, we'll be coming back to seeing a movie that our friend Scott paid for us to see, which is Theodore Rex, starring, I believe it's Whoopi Goldberg.
It does star Whoopi Goldberg. You told me about it, so I was like, well, I'll watch the trailer. And it definitely has the potential to be a rage. Unlike like the last 5 weeks, it seems. I don't remember. When's the last time I actually raged on Rage or Dare? This is getting annoying. I'm raging on the fact that I'm not raging on a Rage or Dare. This is ridiculous.
You know, I had one of our listeners message me today say they think they are actually going to want to pay to get us to see something that's really good so they can see Bryce rage again.
I just-
I'm not raging.
It's stupid. That's not what this is about. These are supposed to be the freaking worst movies that are on the planet. Not stuff
This
that's
movie is
just
terrible.
that's just not that bad. You know, it's okay. Not stuff that's even bad. I'm talking stuff that's so bad that it's upsetting for me to watch it.
Like it was for American Pickle for me.
Oh,
Because that movie.
I think
I
you are
don't even understand how you
overselling
liked
that.
this movie.
Oh, it's
I can't
fine.
understand how you liked it.
I thought there were
I
some
don't
funny
understand.
bits.
But you can't remember any of them.
Yeah, because it wasn't memorable. But it was a breezy 90 minutes. I got no problem with a breezy 90 minutes. I was entertained for 90 minutes. I shut it off. I forgot about it. That's okay.
Ugh, I can remember everything that they thought was funny, and none of it was.
Yeah, if everything you thought that wasn't funny, I thought was probably at least mildly amusing.
God.
If it was truly funny, I'd probably remember it. But it was mildly amusing. It was a sweet story. I liked the ending. Everybody lives happily ever after. What's not to like?
That doesn't. like everything is coming out of your mouth is not you. So if you're just now, I just think that you're just giving away mez like candy.
I am not giving away mez like candy. I'm just waiting for a frickin' rage. If Theodore Rex ends up being like so bad, I'm actually chuckling through the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of funny. I am going to be some upset because it's also got the potential to be one of those movies where you watch it and it's so awful that it's hilarious and it's like enjoyable. That's not what this is about either. There's lots of those movies out there. I want movies that are just going to, like, I just wasted the last 90 minutes to 2 hours of my life. That's what I want. I don't want something that I can laughingly talk about for the next little while. Go, oh, have you seen Theodore Rex? It was so bad. I laughed a lot. No, it was so bad. I wanted to rip my eyeballs out and tear off my ears so I didn't have to see it or hear it. That's what I want.
Pickle. Exactly, American Pickle.
Whatever. American Pickle was fine. It was sweet.
It was
I liked it.
It was a rage. It was terrible.
It was meh.
Okay, well, I'm excited about next week. We're going to go see some Cuff Films. Our favorite festival, Calgary Underground Film Fest, is playing, and we're going to be watching a shit ton of movies. So check in with us. I'm going to say maybe Sunday. Sunday?
We might sneak in a couple extra episodes. So yeah, maybe Sunday.
Who knows? Be surprised. Just, be ready. Okay. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Rage love to our James, who is our only member subscriber. Thanks to Extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. For Bex Goose for her animation skills at Potato Lady PodcastReviews.com. Find us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at FilmRageYYC.com, including our merch site, which is actually on sale right now at TeePublic or on Redbubble. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment often everywhere you feel, including filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Chaser, Apple Podcast. Dare us to see terrible, terrible movies like American Pickle to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please. Please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.